Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are of course watching the Materwelon channel for some reason, and I wish you a happy COVID-19 1-year anniversary. Hopefully we won't let this virus celebrate a second birthday, and today we're actually going to talk about something very interesting that had been going on over on Twitter and YouTube the past couple of days. That being Mario Judah coming at Playboi Carti yet again for not dropping the deluxe version of his Whole Lotta Red album, which he released back in December on Christmas Day to be precise. But before we get into all that, I gotta shamelessly plug my channel. I'm uploading every other day, giving my thoughts on a wide variety of topics, so if you don't want to miss out on anything, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. It's completely free and you can always unsubscribe if you change your mind later. Also, I have Twitter at RealMaterwelon, and go follow me on there if you want to have a constant feed of random thoughts. I'll have it linked in the description. Alright, enough. Let's get into today's topic now. So Playboi Carti, for the few people watching that don't know already, is obviously a very high profile rapper that got a lot of mainstream attention in 2018 from his commercially successful album Die Lit, and half a year after that project dropped, he announced his next release, Whole Lotta Red. But retrospectively, this announcement sadly aged rather poorly, cause Carti left his fanbase waiting, disappointing them time and time again by acting like a ghost on social media and letting 2 years go by without ever dropping the long awaited Whole Lotta Red album. And this was where Mario Judah saw his chance to jump into the situation and get some of that sweet clout for himself. Mario Judah obviously being an artist that blew up in October for his smash single Die Very Rough that gained a lot of traction through the iconic music video, but still at the time he didn't really have that much music out, only Die Very Rough and a couple of other singles. And Mario Judah saw an opportunity and straight up took it and capitalized the most humanly possible on it. I mean, Mario Judah, who had been a fan of Carti's music for years, publicly called out Playboi Carti, who had been ghosting his fans on social media again, and literally threatened that he will drop his own version of Whole Lotta Red if Carti didn't release it in a certain amount of days. A strategy that apparently came from a place of a genuine Carti fan, since Mario Judah said this on the No Jumper podcast in early January.
Yo, drop the album. We want the album.
Drop it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Please drop the album, bro. Like, yo, like commenting and doing what everybody else was doing and still was doing up until he dropped, right? So, you know, it's funny, I always had a plan if I were to blow up to try and get this man to drop his fucking album. Because I really wanted to hear, I mean, bro, he has really loyal fucking fans, myself. We wanted to hear his shit. I didn't find out it was promotional until recently. I didn't know I was gonna gain whatever from it. Like, I just wanted his album and we got it.
And surprisingly enough, his strategy actually somewhat worked out. I mean, Mario Judah had to drop a dope track mimicking Playboi Carti's style, and a week later even his own Whole Lotta Red EP, which was surprisingly close to the original Carti sound, and that did pretty well commercially as well. To be honest, he had the whole community support, including mine personally, because his goal of getting a lot of people's favorite artists to drop music was rather noble and unique, and it didn't feel like he was only just doing it for clout. And after Mario Judah's EP dropped, Carti did end up announcing the drop of Whole Lotta Red, which released on Christmas Day, and it's safe to say without Mario Judah's involvement, this album wouldn't have dropped that soon. And this should have been where this mostly positive story should have ended, and it did, until last week. Now we've reached part 2 of this story, Mario Judah reigniting this entire situation. So after Whole Lotta Red released, I thought Mario Judah would just go back to releasing his own kind of style of rock/rap music, as like I said in the beginning, he actually doesn't have too many tracks in his signature style out. And he did end up dropping 2 songs that were pretty jammy in my personal opinion, that being I Cannot Love You and It's Time to Rock. And these 2 did some decent numbers, although not as many streams as his fake Whole Lotta Red songs got. Because a lot of people were obviously just behind him back then because they wanted Playboi Carti to drop, and not all of these people were necessarily interested in Mario's own brand of music. And this is exactly where Mario Judah got hooked on their precious clout. You see, despite the tremendous build up to the release of Whole Lotta Red, the final album did receive a lot of mixed feedback, with many negative and disappointing reviews, mixed somewhat equally between critically positive reviews of the album, basically splitting his fanbase in half. Personally, I found the album to be a whole lot of dog shit, and nobody nobody can convince me otherwise. And even Mario Judah himself did go after Carti on Twitter after this album dropped, making it clear that he wasn't too much of a fan of the project at all. Which is fair, it's his opinion after all, and with his massive expectations going into this, I feel like there definitely wasn't too much of a chance it would live up to his own anticipation. But despite him clearly saying he did not like this album, he recently decided to go onto his YouTube channel and say this to his fans.
Give your fans what they want. They want your music. They care about you. Act like it. Drop the Deluxe now!
And I saw this coming from a mile away right off the bat when I saw Carti's tweet at the end of December where he announced he will be dropping an extended deluxe of his album. I already knew he wasn't gonna release this anytime soon. But that new push from Mario Judah, it's not the same, man. I mean, he himself said he didn't like his album, so why would he desperately want an extended version to drop if not for Clout? Mario Judah clearly only wants to bring his hype back to the heights of December up again, despite obviously not wholeheartedly standing behind this anymore. I don't even think his own songs did that bad, to be honest, even though 500,000 streams is nowhere near what the Carti style music received. It still performed rather decently for a new artist, and you obviously can't expect everybody to stick with your music after you completely branch out for a couple of weeks. I definitely feel like Mario Judah is kind of butchering his reputation here. It was kind of funny the first time around, but firing a joke back up again 2 months later just isn't the same anymore, especially if you didn't even enjoy his album in the first place. I just hope Mario Judah will stick to his own lane for at least a bit of time, maybe enough time for him to release like an actual tape or EP in his rap rock kind of music style, in order to keep his fans satisfied and loyal, because otherwise you're leaving a poor impression on your actual core fan base if you're willing to just abandon them for a second time in order to go and chase after Playboi Carti's clout, even though he has always been a master of clout chasing, to be fair. But after Mario Judah released like 4 or 5 of these Playboi Carti needs to drop his deluxe album announcement videos, he just a few days ago in fact appeared as a guest star in a behind the scenes video for a sketch on the channel Love Life Surf Vlogs, where he had to say this.
Playboi Carti acted nonchalant about me wanting his album, and right now being him trying to drop the deluxe, him still being nonchalant. I'm kind of over it. There ain't no point in trying to go through trying to drop the deluxe if he doesn't give a if he acts like he don't care about his fans, and which sucks, you know, because he has that modem of not talking and being very secretive, which doesn't matter because he's there because of people that listen to his music. Then me, I just feel like I shouldn't have to go through that and trying to make him drop.
And I agree mostly with what Mario Judah has to say here. I'm glad he himself managed to finally admit that this was very quickly becoming extremely redundant. I don't think it would have paid off to keep this act up any longer, neither from a getting Playboi Carti to drop perspective or from a clout chasing perspective here. I don't think Mario Judah is exclusively doing this stuff for clout though. There's only one thing where I really have to somewhat disagree, that being him saying Carti doesn't care about his fans. And for me, I agree that Carti definitely doesn't seem to give too much of a shit about his audience at the moment, even though it might just come across that way through him using social media or literally any way of interacting with his fans so extremely rarely. But I do think Mario is being rather hypocritical here, as he literally left his own fans in the dust just to try and get that Playboi Carti hype train rolling again. So I don't think he should be the one to try and call Carti out on not caring about his fans enough, even though I again don't think Mario Judah is a bad person at all. In fact, I do quite like him from what I've seen. So yeah, Mario Judah's resurgence of the Whole Lotta Red campaign. What an interesting topic to talk about. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments section. Also, what's your opinion on Whole Lotta Red? Did you like it, hate it, or did you even listen to it? Definitely write what you have to say about this down below. Also, drop a like on this video if you want to see more of this, sub to the channel, and yeah, stay safe and I'll see you guys around.